So, what are good faith and bad faith? Well, you're asking the right guy because I'm Mike Friedman, social, organizational, and business coach from Columbia University. So, good faith and bad faith are different attitudes that a person can take on when they're approaching a conflict situation. Now, what do I mean by a conflict situation? I mean a situation where you have two or more parties, each of whom have their own interests, but it seems like both parties' interests cannot be satisfied at the same time. In other words, it seems like the only way to satisfy party A is for party B to lose, and the only way for party B to walk away whole is for party A to lose. And I emphasize the word seems because one, that's not always the case, and two, good conflict resolution often looks like identifying ways where each of the parties can walk away feeling like they were one, treated fairly, and two, like they got something valuable out of this negotiation situation. Okay, so let's talk about good faith and bad faith. Um, Good faith and bad faith are each attitudes that you can take on going into a conflict situation. And I'm actually going to start with bad faith. So if I am showing up in bad faith, then I am showing up to this negotiation or this conflict situation playing for myself and only myself. And I might be willing to lie or deceive or misrepresent or manipulate you in order to get what I want. In other words, if I'm showing up in bad faith, then your well being is really of little or no interest to me. Now, if I'm showing up in good faith, instead of only looking out for myself, I'm going to at least try to consider your well being. Of course, I want to get what I want to get out of the negotiation, but I'm going to try to consider both of us in this. And instead of only insisting on my point of view, I want to try to understand your point of view. I might not agree with your point of view. I might not be willing to give you everything that you want. I might not agree with your behavior, but I at least want to try to understand where you're coming from. And instead of lying to you or misrepresenting myself to you, I'm going to try to be honest with you if I'm showing up in good faith. I might even be willing to be vulnerable with you if I feel like it's going to promote good faith between us. Instead of seeing this as you versus me, a good faith person sees this as you and me versus the problem. So instead of attacking each other, you and I, if we're both showing up in good faith, can attack the problem. And instead of seeing it as a chess match where either I win and you lose, or you win and I lose, we can look at it as though we're collaboratively solving a puzzle. In other words, a good faith person says, look, I'm not under any delusion. I realize that we want different things, and it's probably unlikely that each of us is going to walk away, or either of us is going to walk away with 100% of what we want. But maybe if we work together, both of us can get 70% of what we want.